Hello, statistics and pre-calculus. We're getting more into the details here. Irrational solutions to polynomials. What happens when the numbers don't come out nice? You have the irrational zeros theorem from yesterday, but now what about irrational? Here's an equation, y equals x cubed plus x squared minus 6x minus 6. So you're looking at that and you're saying this is third degree. If it's third degree, therefore it's going to have three zeros altogether. And in fact it does have 3. But you look at your irrational zeros theorem and it says the possible irrational zeros are 1, 2, 3, or 6, positive or negative, and you notice that it looks like -1 is a 0, but the other two are not nice numbers. Those are not nice numbers there, so they're not in the list. That means they're not rational. So let's solve this one. The process: identify any potential irrational zeros and divide them out. Then we'll solve the remaining equation, probably with the quadratic formula. So, potential irrational zeros, we looked at that graph and we said it looks like, out of the possible list, -1 looks like a 0, so we're going to divide out a factor of x plus 1. So, I would do this by synthetic division because it's a nice x plus version. We'll divide it out. 1, 1, -6, -6. And if I divide out this, bring it down, it's 1. Multiply, it's -1. Add, it's 0. Multiply by -1, it's still 0. Add, it's -6. Multiply by -1, it's 6. It comes out 0, and as you know from before, that means that this works out perfectly. So my factors are x plus 1, and what's left here is x squared plus 0x minus 6. So, those are the two factors now. We have factored that. Solve that remaining factor for 0. We know x plus 1 is 0 and x is -1, but x squared minus 6 is 0 when normally if we had a middle term here we would use the quadratic formula. We don't have a middle term. It's going to be easier to say x squared is positive 6 by adding 6 to both sides, and x is plus or minus the square root of 6, which is approximately 2.45. So plus or minus 2.45. Now let's take a look back at that graph again. Oh, sorry, there are 3 solutions. X equals -1, x equals the square root of 6, which is about 2.45, or x equals negative square root of 6, which is about -2.45. Now let's look at that graph again. Here it is, 3 solutions. X is 1 is a solution, and there it is on the graph. X is square root of 6, about 2.45. There it is on the graph. X is negative square root of 6. There it is on the graph. 3 solutions. 1 is rational, 2 are irrational. So everything lines up and makes sense with what it should. Good work. Just to remember those steps again: identify any potential irrational zeros, and you can use a graph to do that. There's the old school way. If you look back at Ms. K's video about that, you can do that the old school way, but then divide them out and then solve the remaining equation, probably with the quadratic formula. Good work.